stupid? Are you dumb? Are you crazy? Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adewale, and this is Despite Dem. Today, we're talking about episodes 23 to 24 of Love Island, Australia. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I post new videos. I'm sorry. I know I should have done a few episodes, at least one episode, I guess yesterday or the day before. But honestly, I've been distracted by Ranking of Kings. I started watching that and it kind of has taken over. So I was just like, yeah, there's the last episode for the week is today. Anyways, I'll just do a 3-episode recap. Now, episodes 22 and 24 have the chunk of what we're going to be talking about. 23 was fine. I think the first half of 23 was good. But the end was kind of it was just Zach asking Lucinda to be his girlfriend. And I honestly black out when those two are on the stage, on my screen. So I'm just not interested. But let's get the main things from 22 and 23. And then we can talk about 24. So the highlights of 22 was that Sav and Clint had their dates and they were really, really vibing. He seems to really like her and she likes him. She almost even feels like a different version of herself. Kind of like the version we were getting glimpses of. Almost I feel like she was hiding a part of herself when she was dating Trent. Because I guess she was trying to, chameleon herself to fit Trent. I don't know. This is all hearsay. I like her with Clint. He seems great for her, and they seem to really like each other. Harmony gets the green light from Andy to choose him if she's interested. I just call that karma because it was the exact same scenario with Kale and Nakia when Andy came in. It was kind of like a repeat, but this one had some more drama in it because, yeah, we'll get to it. And then the recoupling happened in 22, and obviously Harmony and Clint were first to pick. So Harmony picked Andy and then Clint picked Nakia. The last two people standing were Trent and Nakia. They didn't have a couple, and so it wasn't up to the superfans, it was up to the Islanders themselves. And each couple, they would have to discuss and come back with one vote. So the votes are in. Tyra and Kale vote to send Trent home. Zach and Lucinda vote to send Nakia home, of course. Nate and Georgia vote to send Trent home. Chloe and Reed vote Trent, and Sav and Clint vote Trent. Now, obviously, Trent was sent home. We all know this. The Love Island gods and my God finally set us free from Trent. I wish Zach could have gone with him. Lucinda can follow along as well. These people had no influence, impact, or anything in the house. They were just trouble for being trouble. But the most thing that happened in that episode was the fact that Harmony and Andy voted to send Nakia home. And this caused a lot of problems in the house. Because when they were talking, it's so weird. This is why communication is a huge thing. People, teach your children communication. Teach these kids communication. Because that's what was going on in here. Harmony had asked Andy this question. She said, will you be able to give me 100% with Nakia being in the house? If you're reading between the lines, you never assume. But if you're assuming, you would definitely assume that Harmony is saying, I don't think we can start anything solid unless Nakia is out. Now, flash forward to episode 23. It's everybody's discussing because obviously Nakia doesn't leave, so everybody's like, how could Andy vote for Nakia, This is my metaphor. Just go with me. Harmony and Andy are starting on the road. There's a big black ass lorry on the road coming towards them. Nakia, of course, is pissed. We'll come back to that metaphor. Nakia is pissed, obviously, and she tells Andy, I don't understand. How could you say my name? What we have, is it just done? For me, this is all karma happening, and I'm loving it, And Andy says that no, Andy explains it. The way he explained it made sense to me. He's like, no, I did not want to send you home, but out of respect for the person that I'm coupled up with, I did that in order to make her comfortable. Besides, he is right. He cannot, in good conscience, ask the girl that he just coupled up with if the girl that he's been loving up and kissing up on and exploring gardens with should stay. You know, I get the point, but here's the thing: if they had communicated better, I think all of this would have been avoided. Also, it didn't help that Harmony was up there telling people that she had nothing to do with the decision. It was all up to him. I don't know why I did the voice. I don't like her. That's why. I don't like her. So it didn't help that she was up there telling the people a different story than what they had discussed, you know? Nakia then tells everyone that she's just going to talk to Annie and Harmony, you know? And this was where Harmony decided that she's not just going to leave Andy on that road with the lorry coming towards them. She literally pushed him towards the lorry and ran away. Because this was where she was telling people that, oh, she didn't have anything to do with the decision. She left it up to Andy. Andy decided that all on his own. And I'm like, if you say you like somebody, you know, at least, even if you don't want to take the blame for whatever decisions were made, talk to your partner first. Say, oh, let's get our story straight, you know, just so when people ask, I have something to say. Talk to him first before you're going rogue and saying, no, it wasn't me. How do you expect this guy to be attracted to you after you've done that? Like, how? How do you think that? So Andy overhears and obviously is pissed, and he confronts everybody and is like, if you want to talk to me, just talk to me. Like, let's be adults about this. Talk to me. There's no need to be talking behind my back, you know. I liked it. I like that he put them in their place, because it is what it is. Talk to people. They don't talk to each other in this thing. And that's why all of this nonsense is happening. So obviously him, Andy, and him, Harmony, and Nakia have a chat, and honestly, nothing really is resolved. As soon as they sat down, Harmony is like, so what do you want to hear from us, Nakia? She was almost presenting a united front with Andy after you just literally thrown him to the wolves up there when he wasn't there. Now when he's around, you're forming, oh, we're in this together. What do you want to hear, Nakia? Oh, it was such a bullshit move. And later on in the evening, Andy then tells the guys that he's off both the girls because he didn't appreciate the way Harmony handled everything. And obviously Nakia was pissed, so that kind of, he kiboshed that whole situation with Nakia anyways. But he tells the guys that he's off because the guys were telling him what Harmony had been saying up there, and obviously it was not what they talked about. Skip over to Sav and Clint, who are basking in their new couple. Their whole situation, that's when they kissed for the first time in episode 23. And I love that for Sav. I think she seems very, very happy. And like, it doesn't feel like he's pressuring her in any way. She doesn't feel the need to be overtly sexy. She can be herself. She can make whatever sounds she likes, and he's just okay with that. And I love that for her. She needed somebody who was going to come in and just be like, you are my person, and you're the only one that I want to talk to. And that's what he did, because even before the recoupling, she was like, oh, maybe you should make time for other people. And it's like, no, there's really nobody else that I want to connect with. And that's what we love to hear. He didn't even try with anybody else. And that is a man who knows what he wants. Hopefully, I really don't know what happened with them afterwards, but I really hope that it's a true thing and they are together. The next morning, Andy is working out forever. Like, he's just doing his thing. I really think he wasn't interested in chatting up Harmony. And she's like, oh, she's just waiting around for him. I'm not really sure what this girl was expecting, but the delusion with this girl was off the charts, because she was really sitting there thinking, oh, I guess today is my day. I guess I'm going to start my new couple with this guy, this hot guy, and we're going to ride off into the sunset. And I'm like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? Are you crazy? It's definitely giving crazy. Finally, he chats with her, and he tells her that he tells her his mind. He says she didn't protect him in any way. She didn't even try to protect him in any way. And not that he was expecting that, but he just didn't expect her to shove him to the wolves the way she did. Like, pinning the whole decision on him was definitely I wouldn't say it was a full lie, but she was definitely altering the truth. So she looks good in front of the Islanders. She instantly has an attitude saying, oh, if that's the way you feel, then it is what it is. And this was where it solidified for me that I dislike this girl. Like, I don't like her. She can go in the bin. She can join the other trash bags, Zach and Lucinda, in the bin, because she's as good as useless in this house. I'm just going to say it. Then they did the bubbly game. It was a whole mess. Nate and Georgia win, and what they won was some time in the hideaway. Zach asks Lucinda to be his girlfriend. I blacked out throughout that whole thing. I'm really done with the over the top asking a girlfriend's situation in Love Island. I've had enough of that. Then G and Nate head into the hideaway. She was looking good, girl. She was looking good, and they have sex. And I'm like, G, you said that your father will kill you if you had sex on Love Island. So interesting. I guess she just didn't want to have sex with Trent, which was another blow to Trent, which I loved. I was like, yes, you go, Nate. You go, Nate. You do you. So episode 24 starts. And it starts in the hideaway with G and Nate. They'd been talking, I guess. And Nate tells her that in the real world, he doesn't want to have to see his girlfriend every single day. He's more of a 3 to 6 times a week kind of guy. And at the beginning of a relationship, I think 3 to 6 is a good starting point. Personally, my husband and I had joined at the hip. We were joined at the hip as soon as we moved in together and then got married and all of that, you know. But in the beginning, I felt like, you know, that time away, even if it was a day away, really does help the relationship. You can't be together 24/7 in a new relationship. That's just what I feel. I don't think that it's something that you need to plan or think about. I just think it's something that has to happen, you know, where you're texting each other, you know, over the days that you can't see each other. And then when you see each other, it's like fireworks. Love it. But people are different. I get what he was trying to say, but I think that the approach of it was not really done well. G obviously did not like that. She said that she wants to see him every single day. So she's I like to see you as much as possible kind of girl. And he wasn't really, he wasn't on board with that. Andy is still he's still freezing Harmony out by the night time of episode 24. And then he eventually tells her that he thinks that the ship has sailed for them and this relationship, and that he basically broke up with her right there and then. So the next morning, Nate and G join the gang back in the bedroom. The girls are talking, and I think it was Tyra. Nakia heard, but Tyra was giving them the rundown of how Andy broke up with Harmony the night before. Harmony thinks that Andy didn't give them the chance, and I was like, no shit, Sherlock. You threw this guy in front of a moving truck. You literally kicked him in front of the truck and you expect him to just daddy give you the time of day. If you can't even protect him on Love Island, how are you going to protect him outside? You know, that's just, I get it, you don't know the guy, but you liked him enough to want to couple up with him. So protect him a little bit. Like, have a conversation with him. Even if you don't want to take the blame, have a conversation with him first. And then you guys present a united front to the rest of the gang. It was such a shit thing that she did. Honestly, yeah. In this scenario, she was a shit person. I don't know her personally, but in this scenario, she was a shit person. Not all the blame is on her, but what she did specifically to Andy was a shit move. Nate then tells the guys that he doesn't think that he and G are on the same page when it comes to relationship outside the villa, where he's like, he doesn't want to have to see her every single day. But that he wants like a 3 to 6 or 4 to 5 or whatever scenario that he wants. The guys obviously agree because nobody holds anybody accountable in this house. And not that anything he said is wrong. I'm just saying that they're all sheeple to whoever is in front of them and they just go along with it. Guys and girls. Nobody is calling out anybody in this house, which is just sad. Asav and Clint get a text that they're going on a date. It was really cute. Obviously, they have more, you know, They talk more about their home lives and about themselves. They get to know each other really better. And it just looks like it's all up for Sav in this point. And I love that for her. Nate and G then have another talk. And he tells her that he's now down to a 2 to 4 situation on how many times he wants to see her per week. It's just communication for them. He didn't handle it the best way. I get what he was trying to say, but I don't think his approach was done properly. Anyway, she goes into the girls' locker room, beauty room, whatever, where they make up, and she's crying. And she's telling Chloe about the situation, and it's triggering for her because these are the same conversations she's had with her exes, I guess. So that was what was triggering her. Later that night, though, they do have a talk. I'm not sure what happened between that morning and the night because she'd done a full 180. And she said that she understood where he was coming from and that with them they will find they will find their rhythm in their relationship, which is 100% right. So obviously they squashed that. I think they just wanted to give us a little drama between Nate and G. I'm not sure if they're pushing them to be the winners of the season. I don't know. It's then raunchy races, and it's the boys to strip. And honestly, stripping is an art form. Not everybody can strip. It's not just taking off your clothes, people. It's a Magic Mike situation, I guess, where it's an art form. So first to go was Andy, and I will say the boys were a 10 over 10 for their girls, or they're choosing the people they chose to focus on, which most of them, it was their girls. So for each individual partner, so Andy obviously went first. Andy works like a 50-year-old man or a 60-year-old man. Has anybody noticed that? It's very heavy-footed and kind of like that. So even when he was dancing, that's all I was seeing. He was just going like this. It was hilarious. But in the end, he ended up being the best out of the bunch, even though his striptease was not that great. But he ended up kissing Nakia, like the kiss. That was the highlight of the entire night, people. The way he picked her up, swung her around. Like, he was holding her. There's one time she was just bone straight and he was holding her. It was kind of like it was like a ballet dance. It was very fluid and very graceful and very beautiful. So for Nakia, he was a 10 out of 10. But overall, I gave him an 8 out of 10. He was still the best out of the people. Nate, for G, was definitely a 10 out of 10. Like, you could even see Tyra's face when he licked her thighs. And I was like, oh, the lick of the inner thigh. So yeah, for G, he was a 10 out of 10, but overall it was a 6. For Kale was a 6. Kale could have been a 5 even because it was just all bomb action. Clint was a 6 out of 10 as well. Zach was a 6 out of 10, but he was the funniest because he just kept on going, that's all I kept hearing, and he made me laugh throughout this episode. So good on you, Zach. Still don't like you, but thank you for making me laugh. And then Reed was a 7. Reed kept pulling out snacks from his junk. The banana, the black spotted banana, that banana had, it came out and it was like, thank you, Jesus. That's what I imagined the banana saying when it came out. The results are in. Lucinda's hat was raised most by Andy. G was raised most by Nate. Tyra was raised most by Zach, which was interesting. Sav was raised most by Clint. And Harmony was raised most by Reed. Nakia by Andy. And Chloe by Reed. Now, they do have some chats here and here, but the most important one, I think, for the night was that Nikki and Andy did sit down and they're laughing, they're talking, they're giggling. They're not really saying much, but in his one-on-one, he said that he thinks that after everything, that it was a great gift to give Nakia her own moment during the striptease. Kind of like to say, I see what you've been through here, you know. So it looks like maybe they are going to be recoupling again the next episode, which is on Monday. There will be a recoupling for sure. And they hint that maybe someone is definitely going home and that we may not know who it will be. I think, if anything, if they want to throw a curveball, is that Reed is going to go for Harmony and Chloe is going to go home. I said it here, people. Let me know if you think that that's what is going to happen. I feel like, if anything, that's it. Otherwise, it's going to be Harmony going home. So I'm thinking it's either Harmony or Chloe. And Reed is going to come out and shine one more time. People, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, it was a great episode. I really I enjoyed it. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Like I said, I was distracted by Ranking of Kings, and that's the only reason why I haven't put out a video in the last 2 episodes. But yeah, let me know your comments, people. Let me know what you think about the whole situation. Do you think that Andy and Nakia are getting back together? I do. Do you think Harmony was justified in what she did, and do you think she's right by saying Nate is being by saying Andy is being unreasonable? I don't like this girl. I don't think she has morals. I don't think she stands for anything. But yeah, let me know your comments in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, subscribe. Bye.